Anders Aslund, a former senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. He's also an adjunct professor at Georgetown University, specializing in economic policy, and he joins us from Washington, D.C. Professor, welcome to the program. So we have this new proposal now from the Ukrainians. They've got some changes in that proposal. What do you make of it? Do you think this brings them closer to a possible deal with Russia?
No, not at all. Russia has made no concessions whatsoever, and the US is not asking Russia to make any concessions. What Ukraine needs is security guarantees and ceasefire, and the US is not even emphasizing them. What Trump is talking about, it is giving away Ukrainian territory to Russia. That's essentially all. He's not talking about any war reparations, of return of Ukrainian children who have been deported to Russia. He doesn't talk to Europe, really. So he's only working for President Putin.
So, Anders, in your past experience as an economic advisor to Ukraine and Russia, when it comes to this free economic zone in the Donetsk region proposed by the US, what do you then make of that? Do you think it's actually going to be beneficial to both sides if this is something that they accept?
Absolutely not. Donetsk had, for a long time, a pre-economic zone, which was just breeding corruption. No Americans will want to invest in a territory that is effectively in a war. It seems that Trump is trying to use this as a way of getting very valuable military territory for Ukraine over to the Russians. And Ukrainians feel weak now internationally because Europe is not standing up enough, and therefore they are playing along. But I do hope and I think that this will not lead to any conclusions. The US is simply on the side of Russia. That's what we all have to realize now.
When you say that Europe is just simply not standing up enough, there has been a lot of comment, of course, and rhetoric from European leaders. They are meant to meet over the next 2 days to discuss this further. But why do you think that Europe is unable at this time to even possibly provide Ukraine with those security guarantees that it so desperately wants?
Well, there are many reasons. Basically, that Europe does not have a strong leadership, and the countries that are most strongly supporting Ukraine are the Nordic and Baltic countries, and they are relatively small. Then comes Poland. The pivotal country is Germany, where Chancellor Friedrich Merz, the new Christian Democratic Chancellor, has taken a much stronger position in favor of Ukraine, while France, Italy, Spain provide very little material support for Ukraine. While they do support Ukraine, they have not provided substantial support. And where is the European peace plan? Why is there no European peace plan? Why should the Americans play any role? They don't deliver any arms and no money to Ukraine. They are simply a bystander. And the 28-point plan that was presented by Russia and the US early a month ago is essentially a plan in order to make Russia and the US making money on the war. This is completely unacceptable.
So if all these talks continue to stall and they put forth various concessions to the deal, does all of this benefit Russia right now? Because they do seem to slowly be making inroads into those eastern regions that they want. And we know that, of course, during the colder winter months, the war on the ground does seem to slow down a bit.
Yeah, actually inroads of a Russian army are very small. What is serious is that Russia is now bombing Ukrainian cities, and in particular the electricity system, very seriously in Ukraine. So the weak point in Ukraine is electricity for the winter, gas and heating less so. It's electricity that is crucial for Ukraine now, and that puts President Zelenskyy under substantial pressure. And then, of course, that the US quite clearly has shifted side. It's no longer supporting on the West or Ukraine. It's President Trump, who is effectively holding all power in the US right now, is supporting President Putin, on whom he puts no conditions. And you could see today that Putin came out strongly in support, expressing his solidarity for President Maduro in Venezuela. So far, I haven't heard any US comment about that.
Anders Aslund, really good to speak to you and get your analysis live there from the US Capitol. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.